Glowing candlelight, wafts of mulled wine and exotic spices, colorful stalls and impressive handicraft. This is an outsider's picture of a German Christkindlmarkt, a nostalgic image colorfully crafted by tourist websites and casual word of mouth. But what does one really encounter upon entering these world-renowned markets? And why are cities across the United States holding their own Christmas markets, which are specifically based on German markets? Let's start at the beginning.
The first winter markets of Germany were established from townspeople to exchange goods that they needed throughout the winter. Following the Reformation, the markets transitioned to be more of a religious affair. Vendors began to sell more than just household items. They sold nativity scenes and various food and drink, and provided a place for people to gather and socialize. By the 18th century, the markets had become a center of community, where all classes of society could mingle and celebrate Christmas.
This, however, did not last long. The markets soon became a place of division, where the middle and lower classes lingered and took advantage of low prices, while the wealthy stuck to their shops and later on to their exclusive department stores. During the Third Reich, the markets completely shifted their focus. They served as a way to preserve German traditions and reject foreign ideologies which supposedly threatened the country. Following World War II, the country was in desperate need of Christmas cheer during the winter months, so traditional Christmas markets started popping up all across Germany again in order to bring light and Christmas cheer to the broken cities. They were a place for people to experience the Christmases of the past and celebrate the winter season together.
Nostalgia, warmth, togetherness. This is the German Christmas we read about and wanted to experience. A voice is present during every Christmas season in the United States. It's the voice of consumerism and division. Could this voice also be present in Germany during their supposedly united celebration of Christmas?
Over the past 2 years, Germany has accepted over 1 million refugees. We couldn't help but wonder, how did these people fit into the nostalgic picture of a German Christmas? Are the markets actually accessible for all members of society, and can even non-religious people take part in a traditional German celebration of Christmas?
So, how did we go about gathering this information? Prior to our departure, we scoured tourist websites and read articles and books about the history of Christmas in Germany. We planned to visit 3 markets across southern Germany in 3 days. It was going to be tough. We took a trip up to the Denver Christkindlmarkt before our departure to get a feel for what we were about to experience. We then set up meetings with organizers of the markets in Munich, Nuremberg, and Stuttgart. We were only able to meet with people in Nuremberg and Stuttgart, but we interviewed vendors and visitors in all 3 markets, all while enduring the biting cold of Germany in December.
Based on the research we did in the 3 well-known Christmas markets in Germany, depending on the organizer's focus, the markets would cater to tourists and Germans, but in different ways. The Christmas markets all aimed to maintain an essence of tradition and nostalgia for both Germans and tourists, but it was experienced somewhat unequally. In the past few years, there have been changes that have affected all markets. There has been an increase in security, more and more visitors, higher prices, and yet in some cases, the quality of goods has shifted out of focus.
The famous Nuremberg Christmas market, which in an attempt to remain traditional with a touch of modern need to attract all generations, keeps a high standard for quality goods, having 200 exclusively local and regional vendors chosen from a pool of over 800 applicants. The Nuremberg market cared a lot for authenticity and quality, which attracted both Germans and tourists alike, whereas other, bigger, less regional-based markets such as the one in Munich included more booths that would attract tourists looking for the German Christmas experience through food and drinks. Similarly, the Christmas market in Stuttgart seemed to focus on drawing the most people by including a high number of booths that have intricate creative decorations and a high diversity in products, both German and international. Despite the organizers' efforts and the different focuses and qualities of the markets, when we interviewed the visitors, they all seemed to believe Christmas markets were too commercialized and the quality of products was never quite as good as they had wished. Yet, that hasn't stopped both Germans and tourists from all over the world from visiting every year. During the opening ceremony of the Nuremberg market every year, the Christkind announces that all are welcome to take part in the Nuremberger celebration. The Christkind is the symbol of the Nuremberg market, an angel who brings the children presents on Christmas, portrayed by a local girl who is elected by the town.
Although the Christmas markets are, in the eyes of visitors, welcoming for all nationalities and classes, we experienced that for outsiders, such as refugees, it was hard to be part of the celebration due to a combination of lower socioeconomic status and the high prices of quality products, traditions and popular drinks that are often prohibited in their own religion, and the different religious traditions that are foreign to their own. These markets simply do not attract poor or refugee populations, although they attracted foreigners as a whole. Tours of the market are offered in Nuremberg as a way to include these groups of people who may feel disconnected, but even so, we concluded that the markets are ultimately inaccessible for the refugee populations. However, due to the prevalence of Christianity and the Christmas celebration globally, there did seem to be a great interaction of cultures and an exchange of comfort related to the Christmas markets by foreigners, despite not being raised with the market tradition. In Nuremberg, we witnessed a Ukrainian singing group perform on the main stage for all the visitors. It was definitely unexpected, but contributed to the diverse atmosphere.
On the topic of nostalgia, we each had very different personal experiences. Nostalgia came to me at some parts of the Christmas market visits, especially at the sight of handmade nativity scenes and figurines that reminded me of my own childhood in Mexico. Despite not being with my family during the holiday season or not having grown up in Germany, the markets helped me remember my own childhood experiences by providing prevalent religious images that were present in all of my own Christmas celebrations. And although the Christmas market experience was new all on its own for me, I was able to feel some warmth and comfort in some of the markets due to the shared Christian traditions and religious aspects that were present in all of the markets.
And only during a few moments was I reminded of Christmas when I was a child. For example, I saw a lot of wooden crafts that reminded me of wooden Santas that my grandparents used to make, but besides that, all of the products were completely new to me. It was cold and there were lights, but it didn't feel like Christmas because I wasn't with my own family. When we went to Mass on Christmas Eve, we sang Silent Night and O Come All Ye Faithful. The crowd sang in German and I in English, but it felt really comforting to be able to hear the same songs that I would normally hear with my family at Christmas time. I was also reminded of my family when we went to have Christmas dinner with some family friends of mine near Stuttgart. But again, the markets themselves did not bring me any sort of feeling of family at Christmas.
We would like to thank Matt Follett, former cultural program coordinator of the German House, who helped with translation of the interviews and surveys at the Christmas markets. We would also like to thank our faculty advisors of the project, Alistair Talent and Christian Steckenbiller, for their advice and guidance that contributed to the success of the project.
A special thank you to the organizers and the vendors of the Munich, Nuremberg, and Stuttgart Christmas markets, who agreed to meet with us and volunteered time out of their busy days to answer questions about the markets. Finally, we would also like to thank the Keller Venture Grant Fund and Committee for the opportunity and support on this project.